Welcome back to another episode of the Chelsea Career Mode here on the ChesnoidGaming channel. Apologies right off the bat. This part of my face is still quite numb from being at the dentist, so if I'm a little bit from time to time, then you know why. Thank you to Duncan and to Dale and to Jeremiah for your support. Your names are on the board behind me. Thank you very much indeed. Do continue to drop the thumbs up and leave your comments in the section down below. It really is helping push the content to new people and keeping the channel alive. So thank you very much for that. We have a busy month ahead of us here for the month of November in 2024. Middlesbrough first, then Everton in the Cup, then Everton in the League, then Wolves and Villa. So I'm probably going to play Everton in the Cup, Wolves and Villa, and we'll sim Middlesbrough and then Everton in the League. So we'll start with a tactical sim, but we'll probably rotate the side a little bit. And Kunku is now our first 90 rated player. Growing, continue. I mean, that starting 11 looks astronomically different to how it did at the beginning of the season. Or beginning of the save, even though most of the names are the same, just in overall rating, this side has grown exponentially well. So delighted with that. Middlesbrough currently 2 points from their opening 8 games, as we're playing on a later date, I believe. We've got a game in hands. No, it's 2 points from 9 games. Oh dear, Middlesbrough. We are top of the table as it stands right now, and well, hopefully come the end of the day, we will be top of the table still. Middlesbrough's lineup looks as you see it there. Well, their form is sorry, lads. Fofana. He's got plenty of options. He just needs to find one, please. Goal! Apologies if you've got a little bit of epilepsy, because that probably was a little bit troublesome. But for some reason, that's not happened before. And Kunku scoring a goal certainly has happened before, though. And we take a 1-0 lead. We'll have a look at a replay of it. Going to get a hypermotion technology replay. Just spins the defender really well with great strength and agility, and then buries it in the top corner. Good goal, that. Thank you, Christopher. 1-0. Nice. Raheem, can he bend it? Can he whip it from there? He could have given it a go, maybe. He's still going. Back to Palhinha. There is the option out wide there. Casino Madueke in space. Sterling! Golazo! It's 2-0. The two men that scored the majority of our goals last year, Christopher Nkunku and Raheem Sterling, are the two to score again. And in fact, they link up for this one. Lovely little back heel. Good run by Sterling. Keeper got quite a healthy handful to it, but couldn't keep it out, unfortunately for him. Shot power too much. Roof of the net. 2-0 Chelsea. So Mudryk, 2 substitutes linking up. There's Nkunku. Oh, that is a chop. And he might be in trouble here. Although the ref did play on initially with the advantage, so I think it might just be a yellow card. And it is Mario Costa. This is a really, really good position for Nkunku to maybe consider going for goal. It might be a little bit too far out, but it doesn't look like it's going to stop him. Oh, no, it doesn't stop him. Christopher Nkunku with 7 goals in 9 games this season in the Premier League, and that might be one of the best of the bunch. Right behind it with a camera angle, beautifully watching it into the top corner. Take a bow, Mr. Nkunku. That was very, very good indeed. 25 metres out. Oh, you love to see it. 3-0. Nkunku round the corner. Mudryk's going to get there. Little fancy flick. Broja for 4. This is our biggest win in one of these tactical sim games. This is going very well indeed. Middlesbrough certainly don't look cut out for the Premier League, do they? Thank you very much indeed for the donation, you sir. It's very kind of you indeed. Let me see if there was any message attached to it. Golazo! Broja makes it 5. We are beyond flying right now. This is going very, very, very well indeed. We just got a donation on stream, which is very kindly done by Yuso. It just said, whoop, whoop. Thank you very much, Yuso, for the £10. Appreciate it very much indeed. We celebrated immediately with a goal from Armando Broja. 5-0. Whoop, whoop, indeed. I can barely say it with me numb face. Whoop, whoop. Force. Marcos Antonio, consolation goal, maybe? 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 For the Borough? Give the away fans something to go home with? No. No mercy from this Chelsea back line. No mercy from the Chelsea front line either. A Comfortable. Biggest win of the season so far by 5-0 at home here. Sets us up beautifully to now go into the cup and try and do it all again against Everton. After beating one half of Merseyside in the last round, now we take on the blue half of Merseyside. Beto on the bench for this one. A little bit of fatigue in some of the squad, but they've still stuck with some of their stronger players, more first teamers. You can see Michael Keane and Ben Godfrey both injured, unfortunately, for them, and they have lost 4 of their last 5 games. So Everton not in great form at the moment. Driven beautifully to Noni. Tammy's going to make me a run, but to end the defender's career first, apparently. Here's Leslie again. Well, why not? Go on, then. Ooh. Not a bad effort. Virginia in goal for Everton. They have sold Jordan Pickford. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head where he went. My brain is telling me Roma. I'm probably mistaken. But Jordan Pickford has been sold by Everton, so they've only got lesser goalkeepers at the club right now. I don't believe they replaced him as of yet. Maybe they will do in the next window in January. I'm not sure. Dwight McNeil down the line here and Doucouré into the box. Trying to put a stop to this, and we have done. Defensively, we've been very solid so far today in both this game and the played one. Or, sorry, this game and the simmed one. And hopefully the front line can be even remotely close to as effective in this game. And we should get a good win. Chili's played in here. Tammy is there. And arriving is Leslie. Leslie in the box. Ugachukwu. A 1-0 Chelsea lead. Doucouré and Dwight McNeil. Waiting for the cutback. There it is. Chili's in the way. That was meant for Leslie. Doucouré and McNeil again. He'll try for a second time. He'll fail a second time. Can John do it? McNeil. Oh, Diogo. What are you doing? Ha! Right. Okay. The keeper panicked. I panicked, but Everton didn't score. But the scoreline has disappeared. Is it coming back? No. Not yet. Next time the ball goes out of play, hopefully the score will come back. I assure you, it's still 1-0 Chelsea. Reece to Pedro. Cole Palmer through that gap, slotted nicely. The space to get into here. Can we find Tammy? Might look out wide again. Gonçalves, he'll find Tammy. Tammy's positioned himself brilliantly, actually backing away from the defender, but shot blocked by their defence. Just as we block theirs, they block mine, but we got one through, and hopefully they won't get any. As it stands, we're headed through to the 5th round of the Carabao Cup. Not sure which round is the quarter-final, but it's not far away if we get through this one. Round of 16 next, I think. This may even be the round of 16. I've no idea. Reece is in the way. Trying to break on me, Everton. It didn't work. Noni. Just lay that in front of Leslie. He's getting forward here. Already scored one. Could maybe get himself an assist here. Looking for Cole. He might get the assist. It's Noni Madueke. And it is Chelsea 2. Everton 0 here. Just squeezing it under Real Virginia before he got there. And that should now be us through to the next round. Pedro's there. Oh, nice sharp turn. Love that. Little spin. And Reece James is in behind. Little dink. And arriving is Cole Palmer. Moises Caicedo, can you bring this down and then let fly? Yes. It's fallen very kindly to Noni. And Leslie! Oh, Leslie! Wow! Cut across it as he struck it, so it bent away from the keeper the whole way through the air. A brace for Leslie Ugachukwu here in the Carabao Cup. And what a strike! Certainly his best goal for the club so far. You can see the technique cutting across the ball as so it bends away from the keeper. Oh, the keeper got fingertips to it as well, I think, but couldn't keep that out. Thunderbolt from the Blues. 3-0 victory. Not quite as strong as the simmed one against Middlesbrough, who really weren't up to scratch. Everton gave it a go, but a couple of high-quality goals saw them off in this cup tie. We've got them next again in the league in the exact same place, so we might as well just stay in the local area and rather than get the bus back down to London, might as well just stay in the northwest. Train for a couple of days, and then we've got Everton again in the league this time, although it will be simmed, and then we'll play Wolves and Aston Villa at the end of the episode. Going well so far today, though. Very well indeed. Couldn't have asked more for Leslie. Couldn't have asked more from anyone. Continually top of the table. Continually joint top of the table. Manchester City just 3 points behind. Liverpool just 4. Palace now the side in 5th. Aston Villa in 6th and chasing, but we're starting to pull away from those outside the top 6. Everyone else is still very much within touching distance, you'd say. Middlesbrough bottom, Brentford second bottom, still both without a victory. Everton, who we've just beaten in the league, also in the League Cup, we now have in the league in the exact same fixture, which, fingers crossed, we will be able to get all 3 points from. They are starting certainly some better players in there. Dele Alli starts, Neil Mopé up top. They've got Patterson at right back, Rodriguez in goal. The loss streak continues for them. We've now contributed to that, and hopefully we'll do so again. Tarkowski wins it off him. We're going to intercept that. Yeah, Enzo's done well. Find a teammate. Good lad. And Kunku. Tammy winds up. Tammy Abraham 1-0 Chelsea. Everton just can't cope with us, regardless of who starts for us and who starts for them. We're getting the win. Enzo's celebrating up on the advertising orders, even though he wasn't the one that got the assist or goal. And Kunku and Tammy link up once more and slam. Jib on pitch. It's an equaliser for Everton. We're just having a look at what some of the other camera angles were cycling through. It's cool that you can watch the game from like inside the goal from one of those camera angles. That's pretty smart. Although, obviously at the moment, we weren't quite on the right camera to see how that play developed. Down the left-hand side, whipped in, and Patterson with a header at the back post. And Everton have an equaliser. That's not gone well. End-to-end, overhead height left. High corner beauty. That's quite a cool shot. So this is like you sat... Oh, hang on. That's like you sat in the stand, isn't it? Watching the play develop in front of you. That's quite cool. This one would be just as good, if not better. And the stands keep disappearing every time it cuts from the open play and the ball goes out of play. Stands keep disappearing. I'd still love this touchline view, and it would be even better if the managers weren't in the bloody way and the fourth official wasn't stood there. But what can you do other than pass the feedback on? Forward to Broja. Sterling and Chilwell on this left hand flank. Broja's in again. Armando Broja knows how to score against Everton, and he's rushing straight over to celebrate with Mauricio Pochettino, who brought him off the bench to make him, or give him, sorry, the opportunity to make the impact once more. Chelsea 2, Everton 1. Armando Broja with a good run, a nice touch, and just another powerful finish from the big man. We're in front at Goodison once more. Here's Broja again. Never mind, lost it. 3 minutes added on. Come on, gents! See it through, please! Lind's down the left. Cross into the middle. Disasi with a big headed clearance, and Broja then wins it again, and that will see us take the dub. A 3-point haul away from home against Everton, but that one was by no means as simple as the first two today. A much bigger challenge for Everton in the Premier League than it was in the Carabao Cup, and we only just scraped through that. Sean Dyche should be disappointed they didn't take anything from it, if we're completely honest, but Broja making the impact off the bench. Might be pushing for a start in this next game against Wolves, you know. I think I might have to give him the go. Stevenage and Wickham are progressing to the quarterfinals. They've done really well. Stevenage knocked out Brentford on penalties, and Wickham knocked out Aston Villa, which is even more impressive. Fair dues. Both League One sides doing the business. Wow, actually Stevenage might have got relegated back down to League Two. I can't recall, but they've done very, very well there. Stevenage rewarded with a home tie against Arsenal, and Wickham will have a decent financial gain from Wolves away as well. It is Wolves we face next, although it's back at home next time around, so we shall head there now. We're still top of the table. Arsenal dropped a little bit behind with a draw rather than a win, as we did on the match day against Everton. Manchester City could close back within a handful of points if they win on the Sunday or Monday, whenever it is that they play. Did they win on the Sunday or Monday? No, they didn't. They were defeated, Manchester City. Who by? Wolves. Bugger. Now we've got Wolves. Okay. Note to self, they might actually be half decent in this next one, Wolverhampton Wanderers then. Who have they got in their starting 11? Have they signed anyone? Mateus Cunha and Bellegarde still the front forward too. Oscar in the midfield. Sarabia right, Neto left. No, it's a very familiar looking Wolves side, isn't it? James, attacking me very, very quickly here, Wolves. They're really getting at us. And look at that high line as well. They all stepped there. If we can cut them apart, we might have a bit of a fun day today. Oh my God, Tammy. Surely he's just got to bury that. Sterling trying to close it down and can't. Sarabi will loft that forward and Moises Caicedo wins the header well. Bellegarde tackled and still forward. Here we come. We'll go. It was meant for Sterling, but Tammy's in and on his right this time, tucking it a bit more tamely and calmly into the bottom corner. We lead by a goal to 0 against Wolverhampton Wanderers. They flew at me from kickoff and almost like they were hunting in a pack. But unfortunately for them, it's just not been able to mark me close enough when we have had runners available to find, and we've taken an early 1-0 lead. Out wide, we have switched Gonçalves' number with Mudrik's again. Mudrik was number 10, and then we brought Gonçalves in, and it just defaulted to give Gonçalves Mudrik's number, which I felt was a bit unfair. So we've given Mudrik number 10 again, and Pedro Gonçalves is now number 15. I've been meaning to do it for about 4 episodes and just, quite frankly, forgot every time. And Twitch chat have been like, Ches, the numbers! And eventually I remembered to do it. DSRC, oh, it's both centre-backs that keep having the shots from the edge of the box. It's not necessarily going to go in, is it? Oh! I'm not sure what that was for. A handball or someone caught someone after the ball had gone. And Kunku's got a great free kick earlier in the episode in a Sims game, but I haven't quite got the knack of free kicks yet on this game at all. They're just filling the central areas with bodies at the minute, Wolves. Finding it very hard to get around them and also through them. But around them again here. And Enzo and Nkunku. First time trying to catch the keeper off balance. I'm sure Tammy was offside there. He certainly was, and it was probably by quite a margin as well. I might even have had the time and space to take a touch there with Nkunku, actually, but the defender was closing me down, and I did have Gonçalves on the far side. I could maybe have seen and passed to as well. He's furious with himself, Nkunku, for missing the opportunity, but it's a good save by Jose Sarr. We will lead still at half-time, so not to worry. DSRC across to Chile. And Enzo. Tammy's made the run. Can he slot this? Yes, he can. Tammy Abraham continues his goal-scoring run, and we lead by 2-0 on the hour mark. We're in a really good vein of form right now. Very good vein of form, actually. The dubs are flying, as are the goals. Oh, I thought Chilwell was going to lock onto the ball, to be honest, and he didn't. He just stood there underneath. It was like, oh, look, football. Do you mind? Thankfully, the goalkeeper made the save, and it didn't cost us a goal yet. But from the corner, it also hasn't cost us a goal because the goalkeeper's made the save. Dawson gave it a go, but didn't really get much power behind that. That was a relatively straightforward stop for the keeper. And now with Dawson out of position, I could have, if I played a better pass, been able to go and score a third. 2-0 is still a decent enough scoreline for us at this stage, but with the way that Arsenal have been picking up points, and Manchester City, I'm sure, will bounce back from that defeat to Wolves, we are going to have to keep up this run of form at the time being for probably the whole season if we want to get ourselves this Premier League title this year, which we'd love to do, of course, but it is never going to be easy to win the Premier League because the competition is so fierce. And Nkunku, oh, I thought that was going to go in off the post. It doesn't. Wide in the 90th. But we're keeping Wolves out here. Jose Sarr is up for the corner. Although it's nowhere near him. Oh my lord, I thought it was going to loop in. Oscar with a header. Saved by Diogo. We do get our clean sheet, although we did have to work for it at times in that game against Wolves. They were a worthy adversary, but unfortunately for them, defeat is handed their way. Liverpool win. Middlesbrough just picked up a dub. I just saw that. They won 2-0 away from home. So that's Middlesbrough picking up 3 points for potentially the first time this season. We're not running away with things at the top. But Brentford and Middlesbrough were starting to get cut adrift at the bottom. We'll have a quick look at the league table before we go and play Aston Villa, who were trying to close the gap. They finished in a Champions League spot, I think, last season, didn't they? Aston Villa. I think they finished in 4th at the end. And Arsenal could close back to within 2 points if they win their game in hand. City, again, have a game in hand, but it is always better to have the points on the board than games in hand. As we always say, Wolves mid-table. Villa actually down in 11th, but if they win, against us, and on their game in hand even. Just their game in hand, they'll be right back up with Manchester United, Crystal Palace and Newcastle. So it's very tight in the hunt for Champions League spots. Brentford still without a win at the bottom. That was Middlesbrough's first victory of the season, so despite losing 9 of their opening 12, they're not bottom anymore. But they are still 6 points from safety. Everton down there in the relegation zone now. We've beaten them twice today, once in the league and once in the cup. And now we're going to try to go to Villa Park after an international break and get another win, if we can. Clean sheet leader, as you saw there, Diogo Costa. We've been so much better this season than last, but the improvement in the side has been sensational in terms of people coming in. 85 rated Gonçalves, now 83 rated Tammy Abraham, and just the sheer growth of the squad. And Diogo Costa's made a big impact too. We've got a championship winning side now, certainly. So let's go and get another dub to go towards it. Aston Villa, of course, with Romelu Lukaku up top for them, sold to Aston Villa. Nico Jackson loaned to Aston Villa on the bench. They've got Julian Alvarez up top alongside Romelu Lukaku. Diaby on the right, Jacob Ramsey still on the left. Malo Gusto at right back, whose release clause they triggered to sign him from me earlier in the save as well. Done a lot of business with Aston Villa, haven't we? A lot of business, surprisingly, actually. Well, they play a wing play. Okay. Something slightly different, trying to utilise the pace of Moussa Diaby, perhaps. Alvarez is at Villa in your save too. Scripted transfers are something we used to have an issue with, and I felt like we'd drifted away from. Remember when Alexandro always used to go to Juventus? No, not Alexandro. David Alaba. Strike! Save. Comfortable. David Alaba always used to go to Juventus at left back, didn't he? Hopefully scripted transfers aren't as obvious a thing this year as they have been in the past. Actually, I might well leave this in as a highlight. YouTube comment section. Does Julian Alvarez end up going... Strike. Oh, as if. Does Julian Alvarez end up going to Aston Villa in your saves too? Because that's what everybody in my chat seems to think for their own saves. There may be the occasional, not necessarily scripted transfer, but I don't think the transfers ever were scripted. It's just that teams were looking to fill a certain area in their squad, and it was the exact player that filled that gap every time that you started a new save. So they just seemed to sign the same players over and over again in every save. There just wasn't as much variation in the sort of player that an AI manager was looking to sign. Unfortunately, we wanted to sell Lukaku, and Aston Villa were the ones that did sign him, and now he's come back and bloody scored against me. That's a heavy touch by Diaby. Enzo's managed to nip in there, and Mudryk, good footwork. Broja got the start here. Oh, and Tyrone Mings has sold himself. That's really poor from Tyrone. It's really poor from Broja, actually, as well. I thought I'll try and place it. I should have known that Armando is the guy to slam it home with, isn't he? Reece James into the middle. Gonçalves is up. Kamara wins the header. Cole Palmer getting a start here. His touch is pretty heavy. His pass is then even bloody worse. Well, this has not started well against Aston Villa, has it? Mudryk's pointing where he wants it. I need to time it right, otherwise Pau Torres will come across and just take it off him. I'll float this into the middle. Oh, it's a lovely ball! And Pedro was there at the back post, but he couldn't get it on target. What a goal that would have been. There's a bit of space for Gonçalves actually there. I don't know whether they've pushed the fullback forward or they've changed formation, but there was so much room there. I'll cut this in. Oh, Reece! It's poor. Never mind, he's made up for it. Good lad. Polinia looking for Cole Palmer. Make the run, please, Mikhailo. He has. It's good footwork. Mudryk. Ooh, tried to catch the keeper out by going near post. Didn't quite work. Emi Martinez makes a good stop. Oh, he's going to come for that as well, isn't he? Oh, he's pretty bloody good, isn't he, Emi Martinez? Here comes Reece James on the overlap. Gonçalves has kept him occupied there. I've got so many men in the middle to look for. Mudryk is a man that doesn't get on the end of the cross. Okay, well, it's been very straightforward for us so far today. But this Aston Villa game has been anything but, proving that, again, those smaller sides or lesser quality sides are quite easy to roll over at the moment. But these sides that have quality in their team are not, which is why I'm still happy for the time being to stay on world class. That was just poorly timed from me. And of course it's Big Rom again with a stuttered run up and penalty saved. Serves you right, Romelu. That would be 1-0 though to Aston Villa at half-time here. We trail at Villa Park. We've not done that for a while. Mings and Kamara, they got Lorient next. Aston Villa in their European group stage. I can't get close enough to tackle a couple of times. And I just keep dangling a leg and end up fouling the man. Diogo! What are you doing, mate? He's gone to try and tip it over the top of the bar. And he's just completely whiffed it. Nowhere near it from Diogo Costa. It's a devilish cross from Malo Gusto. And he's just mistimed it, Diogo. It's a great header by Jacob Ramsey. Reece James absolutely nowhere in terms of tracking the run. And Aston Villa double their lead. He's looking to get behind there, Pedro Gonçalves. So I'll play the ball. And it's really well played. And if I can turn inside... Oh my God, what a challenge from Pau Torres. Christ. I tried to turn inside and Pau Torres was like, no. Just no. Not a chance of doing anything with Pedro Gonçalves there. Pau was like, man or ball, but not both. Getting past me. And in the end, it was neither. Lukaku. Big old chop. Oh, won the ball, ref. Yeah, it's not going to go my way. It's not going to go my way today. We're making changes, but with just 8.5 or so minutes left. Pau Torres is the one on the free kick. Oh, my God. Centre-back to centre-back. Yep. Not my day on this occasion. As strong as we've been in other games, Aston Villa are here. The comeback is not on. Turns out, having former Chelsea players play against you for Aston Villa is not good. Here's Nico Jackson off the bench for them, trying to get involved as well. There's an assist for former Chelsea man Malo Gusto. There's a goal for former Chelsea man Romelu Lukaku. And overall, I probably shouldn't have sent quite so many players to Aston Villa, as it turns out. I had nothing in that. I shook my head, just as Mauricio shook his. Words of consolement from Unai Emery, but I don't think anything can console me after that. That was just disappointing in every manner of the word. Liverpool have Middlesbrough away. City have Brighton away, which won't be easy. What does the league table look like now that we've lost another game? We were having Arsenal keep pace with us. They were within a game of us. And if we lose and they win, having themselves gotten a draw when we've now lost in terms of games that haven't been victories, then they could go a point clear at the top, Arsenal. I didn't quite see who they had this match day in that last thing. They've drawn again, I believe. In fact, I think they've drawn twice. They were on 20, we were both on 26 together, weren't we? No. No, they might have won, actually. Oh, I can't remember. I don't know. Oh, regardless, they're a point behind me. Liverpool only 3 as well. There's now a bit of a gap starting to open up outside the top 3. Newcastle on 23, Aston Villa 22, Manchester City 21. But certainly it is at least a 3-way fight for the title this season. And that defeat to Aston Villa definitely sets us back a little bit. Pelini's at full sharpness, but we kind of knew that already because we've managed our training plan very well indeed. Busy month in December. We will probably split that into 2 episodes. So we'll play Brighton, Newcastle and Manchester United in the next one. And then the one after that, we'll have Brentford, Newcastle in the Cup. Because I can't sim a Carabao Cup quarter-final. We'll probably sim the Coventry game if we're honest. And then play Bournemouth away. Or maybe we play Coventry because they're new in the league and sim Bournemouth. When's the next Coventry game? Coventry and Bournemouth. Okay, well, regardless then. One or two, whichever way around we do it, we'll switch it for the next time those two are in the same episode together. Regardless, form is good. We haven't drawn a game all season. 10 wins, 3 defeats. It's either everything or nothing for us so far this year. And at the moment, we're on course for everything. Premier League title, FA Cup hasn't started yet for us. And Carabao Cup, we're in the quarterfinals and going very well. But Newcastle will be a tough test. Join me for the next episode tomorrow when we shall go yet further, hopefully, in our quest for Premier League glory this season. Drop the video a like if you're enjoying, of course. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any more. And I will see you in the next one tomorrow. Bye-bye.